What is a personal rapid transit, also known as pods? We call our pods my pods. It is not a train, it is not a monorail, it is not a sky train, it is not a cable car system, it is a car, and it is the most exciting technology-led public transport system of the 21st century. It is an electric autonomous car that travels on an elevated track. It can travel on the ground and underground as well. It is origin to destination. It is very sustainable. In fact, the most sustainable transport system that exists at the moment in the world. It is a system that has achieved huge success already. It is proven, it is tested. It is a system that has been working for the last 7 years in London and has won the Best Transport Award of London. It is now under procurement or under discussion or under negotiation in 170 cities in the world, more than 100 in India, and it is under procurement in some of them. The traction that we are getting for this system is not only in India, it is in Southeast Asia, it is in the Middle East, and it is in North America. It is a system that is very low on capital cost. In fact, it is a fraction of the cost of a metro rail. It is a third or a fourth the cost of a monorail. And if you consider the value of land, it is much, much cheaper than any transport system that works on the ground. We invented the PRT. We started work on this in 1995, and we have the largest track record in the world, carried more than 6 million passenger kilometers on our system in London, and this has been incident-free. Not a single instance of any accident or risk. It is a safe system that avoids conflict with any other transport system because it is elevated. A very important aspect is the time it takes to complete your journey from origin to destination. You pick your destination on a screen at your starting point, and the car is usually waiting for you or will be with you within 10 seconds, and it will take you straight to your destination. So a journey of typically 1 hour will be completed in less than 15 minutes because it travels at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour average speed, as opposed to anything between 10 to 20 kilometers that any other transport system travels as an operating speed or the traffic on the road. It is safe because it has no conflict with any other system or any other transport. There is no red lights, there is no zebra crossings, there is no roundabouts, there is no stopping. In my view, PRT removes what I call the anxiety of mobility. If anybody has to go the next day or the next day, they start planning the journey today about what time they'll leave the house, what time they'll reach the office or place of work, how long they will have to walk to a metro station or a bus stop, or how long it will take to park a car. In the case of PRT, all that anxiety of mobility is removed. You can read in the car, you can watch a movie in the car, you can meditate in a car, you can sleep in the car. It is not a stressful journey at all like any other transport system that exists at the moment. PRT solves one of the most serious problems in cities today, that of pollution. PRT has no emission. It can run on any sustainable source of energy, and therefore it improves air quality of any city where it is implemented. It is also sustainable because it prevents accidents. We unfortunately kill 150,000 people every year on the roads in India, out of which 17,000 are children. This is the largest killer in India and actually in the world, because this is more casualties than any war, terrorism or crime. I would like to talk a little bit about the cost effectiveness of PRT. On a per kilometer basis or a per passenger kilometer basis or any other matrix that you want to use, it is cheaper than any other transport option that is available today. Capital cost ranges from anywhere from 40 to 60 crores per kilometer, as opposed to much more than 100 crores for any other transport system. In fact, if you go for underground systems, it can go up to 400, 500 crores per kilometer. Even in terms of operating costs, it is the cheapest because it operates only when there is a demand. It is a transport waiting for you, not you waiting for a scheduled transport, which will have to operate even if there's only one passenger in the train or in the metro or in the bus. So therefore the energy consumed per passenger is much, much less. In fact, it is a third of the energy consumed in any other transport system. And because it is much less staffed than any other system, it is very inexpensive in terms of operating cost. What does that translate into? Translates into cheaper fares. Fares will be cheaper than what is typically charged by auto rickshaws, much, much less than taxis, much less than the systems like Uber and Ola, or even a chartered bus. So it is a very inexpensive transport system, primarily because we operate without conflict on our own track 200 times a day in each car. And therefore, it is the most cost-effective system that there is at the moment available. We love other transit systems as well. We love the metro, we love the buses, we love the trains, we love the planes, because we provide last mile and first mile to all these systems. A coordination with any other transport system in a multimodal model will improve the ridership on any other system. In some of the cities in India, as per a study that we have conducted, we could improve the ridership on a metro by about 30%, thereby making metro systems in the cities far more viable financially. Where there is no metro, or there is no possibility of a metro, the PRT can form its own independent transport system for the entire city. So we can cooperate with other systems, or we can provide independent transport systems on our own. A word about the capacity of PRT or pods. It is a very high capacity system. We can carry 15 to 20,000 people per direction per hour. So it is not a small system, it is a major transport system that need not compete with other systems, but it will be a cooperative option with other systems. Most cities in the world are very, very crowded. In Asia, the density in each city is double that of Europe. In India, it is 3 times that of Europe. Cities are old cities. In India, walled cities were built many centuries ago. There are very crowded areas. You cannot widen roads, you cannot build heavy transport systems in these cities. PRT can go into most narrow streets in the inner parts of the city. There is very little limitation about where a PRT can go because it has a turning radius of only 5 meters. It can avoid trees. By the way, we don't cut trees. And it can be implemented in a very short span of time because it is prefabricated off-site and just assembled and bolted onto a platform where we have to have the route. So it is very easy to do. We can build 2 kilometers a month by a single crew. It is a very safe system in terms of not disrupting daily businesses, stopping traffic for any length of time. So it is very easy overlay on any urban fabric that we find in cities today. Let me say a couple of words about applications, the different applications of the pod. School buses might not be needed because mothers can put their children in a pod, press the destination for the school, and it will take the children to the school and the doors will open in the school. Much more safe than putting children at risk, as it has happened in many, many cases in in the world where school buses have accidents and children are exposed to casualty. In an emergency, medical emergency, in the pod or at home, you can press the button for a hospital and it will take you maybe straight into the emergency room of a hospital. Therefore, that first critical hour that treatment is needed and the ambulance gets stuck in a traffic jam will not happen. In the case of crime, law and order in a public transport, there can be a manual override by the control room to take the pod into a police station. And thereby there will not be any further case for investigation because there will be a CCTV camera that would have recorded the crime. A PRT has another very interesting use. At night or during low demand hours when all the vehicles are not being used for passengers, some of them can be used for supply chain in the cities, for small cargo supplies into shops, into groceries, into food, into restaurants, in specially designed containers that can fit inside the pod. So pod will not only be a personnel or a public transport system, it is a small cargo supply chain system as well. So PRT has many uses, not only a simple car, but many, many wonderful uses.